Her story begins not in a palace, but in Odense, Denmark. She was Birgitte Henriksen, the daughter of a lawyer, a bright young woman who came to London to work as a secretary at the Danish embassy. Her future seemed set. A quiet life, perhaps, married to the man she loved, Prince Richard of Gloucester, a man who, as a younger son, was destined to be an architect, not a full-time royal. But a cruel twist of fate changed everything. A single tragic accident rewrote her destiny, handing her the keys to a legendary royal vault and the immense duty that came with them. Today, we unlock the Gloucester Vault. We will uncover the secrets of Queen Mary's forgotten jewels, trace the path of diamonds from Queen Victoria's era, and investigate the mysteries that continue to surround this unexpected heiress and her spectacular collection. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. When Birgitte married Prince Richard in the summer of 1972, their life seemed wonderfully mapped out, but perhaps not in the way one might expect for a prince. He wasn't simply a royal waiting in the wings. He was a Cambridge-educated architect and a partner in his London firm. He had a career he was passionate about, and they were looking forward to a life that would balance their royal status with a very real, private existence, away from the constant glare of the spotlight. Their wedding was a lovely, relatively quiet affair at a country church, a reflection of the future they envisioned. But their new life together had barely begun. Just 7 weeks after they were married, on a late summer's day in August, the unthinkable happened. Richard's older brother, the dashing and adventurous Prince William of Gloucester, was competing in an international air race. He was an accomplished pilot, but that day, his plane crashed shortly after takeoff, and he was tragically killed. The loss was, of course, a profound personal tragedy for the family, but it was also a pivotal moment that irrevocably altered the course of Richard and Birgitte's lives. In an instant, the second son, the architect, became the heir to the Dukedom of Gloucester. The future they had planned for, that life of relative privacy, vanished. Their father, Prince Henry, was already in poor health. So for the next 2 years, Richard and Birgitte lived with the certainty of their new destiny. When the Duke passed away in June of 1974, they officially became the new Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, and with that title came a lifetime of public service they had never anticipated. It also meant that Birgitte would become the next custodian of the magnificent Gloucester jewelry collection, passed down from her mother-in-law, Princess Alice, a collection that was about to be seen in a whole new light. So, once fate had reshaped their lives, the doors opened to a collection built over decades by a woman of impeccable taste and with unparalleled access, Birgitte's mother-in-law, Princess Alice. And Alice, in turn, was the beloved daughter-in-law of the greatest royal collector of them all, Queen Mary. It's a lineage of jewels that is simply extraordinary. Let's step inside the vault, starting with the magnificent tiaras. Of all the treasures we'll see today, there is one that truly feels like the crown jewel of the Gloucester collection, the Honeysuckle Tiara. Its story begins with the great Queen Mary, who commissioned it around 1913 to 14. True to her famously practical nature, she had it made using diamonds from 2 of her own wedding gifts, the dismantled Ladies of England tiara and the Surrey fringe tiara. The result was this beautiful classical design of flowing honeysuckle motifs. But the real genius, and this is so very Queen Mary, was its versatility. The central element could be swapped out, and for herself she had several options, including the magnificent Cullinan 5 diamond, a large sapphire, and a stunning pink stone which is sometimes called a topaz or a kunzite. But when it came time to pass the tiara on, she did something quite specific. In 1935, when her son, Prince Henry, married Lady Alice Montague Douglas Scott, she gave her new daughter-in-law the beautiful diamond frame. However, she kept her personal centerpieces, the Cullinan, the sapphire, and the pink stone. Instead, Queen Mary had a completely new element created just for Alice, the elegant all-diamond honeysuckle element we still see today. For decades, this became Princess Alice's signature piece, the one she wore for the most important state events. But then, after Queen Mary passed away in 1953, a piece of the tiara's original story rejoined it. Alice inherited the very same pink stone element that her mother-in-law had used, giving her a second colorful option for the first time. In the 1970s, Princess Alice passed this treasured tiara to her own daughter-in-law, the current Duchess Birgitte, and ever since, she has worn it more than any other piece in her vast collection. Today, she has 3 stunning configurations at her disposal. There is the classic all-diamond honeysuckle created for Princess Alice, the vibrant pink stone inherited from Queen Mary, and a third, spectacular option, a large cabochon emerald. Exactly when or how this emerald piece came to be part of the set is a bit of a mystery, which only adds to its fascination. It has truly become the signature of the Duchesses of Gloucester, a living piece of history that continues to shine at the heart of the British monarchy. While the honeysuckle is all about dazzling diamonds, the next tiara in the Gloucester vault brings a beautiful splash of color and a deeply personal family story. This is the turquoise tiara. Its story begins not with Queen Mary, but with her mother, Princess Mary Adelaide, the Duchess of Teck. It was part of a parure, a whole suite of jewels, including a necklace and brooches, that her parents gave to Mary as a wedding gift in 1893. If you look at the earliest photographs of the tiara, you'll see it had a very different silhouette. It was quite tall, with a sharp pointed peak in the center. But Queen Mary, as was her way, decided to update it. Around 1912, she had that tall peak removed, creating the lower, more elegant, Kokoshnik-style line that we see today. It was a classic Queen Mary move, modernizing a piece to make it more wearable. And just like the honeysuckle, this historic piece was passed on to her daughter-in-law, Lady Alice, as part of that incredible trove of wedding gifts in 1935. While Queen Mary herself hadn't worn it very often, for Princess Alice, this tiara became a true workhorse. For decades, it was one of her most trusted pieces, accompanying her to everything from gala performances to state visits. She truly gave it a new life. Today, it is of course worn by our Duchess, Birgitte. We don't see it quite as frequently as the honeysuckle, but it remains an important part of the rotation. She often chooses it for events like the Guildhall banquets during state visits, where its striking color makes a memorable impression. It's a wonderful splash of antique charm in the Gloucester collection, and a beautiful reminder that sometimes the most treasured heirlooms are the ones that connect a family generation to generation. So, we've seen tiaras that came straight down the family line, passed from mother to daughter-in-law. But the next one, well, its journey into the Gloucester collection was far more winding and unexpected. This is the spectacular Cartier India tiara. With its stunning design of diamonds, sapphires, and pearls, it looks like it has been in the royal family forever, but that's not its story at all. It was actually made by Cartier in 1923 for an American-born aristocrat, the Countess of Granard, who later returned it to the jeweler. Its royal life began in 1937, when it was bought by one of the most fascinating lesser-known royals, Princess Marie-Louise. She was Queen Victoria's granddaughter, a woman who, after her marriage was annulled, simply became Princess Marie-Louise of nowhere. She was a true character, famous for hiding sandwiches in her coronet during Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. Now, how did her tiara end up with the Gloucesters? Through a bit of classic Queen Mary foresight. She had suggested Marie-Louise be made godmother to the young Gloucester princes. As Princess Alice later dryly remarked, "Of course Mama must have known Cousin Louis would leave them her things." And she was right. When Marie-Louise died in 1956, she left this magnificent tiara to her godson, Prince Richard. Princess Alice, however, was not a fan. "Oh, the tiara," she said. "I can't wear it, it's too big, more like a mitre." So, for years, it sat waiting. When Birgitte married Prince Richard, this was expected to be the main tiara for the wife of a younger son. But after the family tragedy that made them Duke and Duchess, it became just one of several magnificent options. Today, it is worn by the Duchess, who occasionally brings out the piece at state banquets or at the Guildhall banquets, which traditionally make up a part of a state visit to the United Kingdom. In recent years, the tiara has also been exhibited, notably as part of the major Cartier exhibitions held in Canberra in 2018 and London in 2025. From a tiara with a winding history, we turn to one with a much more direct path into the Gloucester collection. This is the Iveagh tiara, and its story begins, as so many of these do, with a wedding. Princess May of Teck married the future King George V in 1893. She was showered with gifts. Among them was this exquisite tiara, a gift from two prominent aristocrats, the Earl and Countess of Iveagh of the Guinness family. It's a beautiful, almost lace-like design of diamond scrolls and foliage in the fashionable Kokoshnik style. And it must have been a truly perfect design, because it achieved something very rare. It survived Queen Mary's ownership without being significantly altered or dismantled. For a queen who loved to tinker with her jewels, that was a high compliment indeed. She wore it throughout her life. After her death in 1953, the tiara was passed down to her daughter-in-law, Princess Alice, becoming another cornerstone of the Gloucester vault. And in time, it was passed to Birgitte, providing yet another stunning but distinctly different option for her to choose from. It is perhaps a little more delicate than some of the other grand tiaras in the collection. And it had a very special moment in the spotlight in 2008, when the Duchess loaned it to her daughter, Lady Rose Windsor, for her wedding. It's such a lovely sight, seeing a family heirloom not just reserved for state functions, but used for such a personal and happy occasion. It speaks volumes about its place in the family's heart, a timeless and elegant piece that has beautifully served 3 generations of royal women. The Iveagh tiara is all about that classic, almost Edwardian romance, but the next piece in the collection shows a completely different side of royal style, from a new and exciting era. This is the Gloucester diamond and emerald bandeau. And it's less of a single jewel and more of a brilliant piece of Art Deco engineering. Unlike the other tiaras we've seen, which came from Queen Mary, this one was a personal wedding gift to Lady Alice from her husband, Prince Henry, in 1935. It's pure 1930s. Clean lines, geometric patterns, very much of its time. The central diamond element can be detached and worn as a brooch. The 2 diamond sections on either side, they come off too and can be worn as a pair of clip brooches, but that's not all. Prince Henry also gave Alice a stunning emerald and diamond centerpiece that could be swapped in. And to make it even more spectacular, his royal siblings all chipped in and gave her a second set of diamond and emerald clips to go with it. So she had this incredible bespoke jewelry set that she could wear in countless different ways. In recent decades, we've seen the current Duchess, Birgitte, use these pieces in a very modern way, often wearing the elements separately. We'll see her pin the emerald clips to her dress or use the central brooch on its own. And in a lovely family touch, perhaps you noticed in those wedding photos that Lady Rose also wore these very diamond clips pinned to her dress, creating a beautiful pairing with the Iveagh tiara. For a long time, the full bandeau wasn't seen in public, but then in late 2023, at a state banquet, the Duchess gave us all a wonderful surprise. She appeared wearing the complete bandeau in its full emerald configuration for the first time in decades. It was a stunning moment, a beautiful revival of an Art Deco masterpiece. While the tiaras are the most spectacular statement pieces, the necklaces in the Gloucester collection tell equally fascinating stories of history, taste, and transformation. Let's begin with a set that has roots reaching back to the very height of the British Empire, the Gloucester Pearl and Emerald Suite. The long-held and most widely told story is that its components came from a truly magnificent Indian necklace belonging to Queen Alexandra. As a wedding gift in 1863, she received this massive piece from Queen Victoria. Rows of pearls, emeralds, and glittering pendants, it was a jewel of imperial splendor. But when it passed to Queen Mary, she saw it with her famously practical eye. It was beautiful, yes, but perhaps a bit overwhelming for the new century. So she did what she did best. She reimagined it. The great Indian necklace was carefully dismantled, and its pearls and emerald beads were given new life as two more wearable, elegant necklaces. And in 1935 she gave these, along with a magnificent coordinating brooch set with 5 large emerald drops, to Princess Alice for her wedding. However, some keen-eyed observers have noted that the pearls in photographs of Queen Alexandra's necklace appear smaller than the substantial ones we see the Duchess of Gloucester wear today. This has led to a compelling alternative theory that these pearls and emeralds might have come from another as yet unidentified grand jewel that Queen Mary also dismantled. It adds another layer of mystery to this already historic set. And those 5 emerald drops that came with the set? They have their own story of transformation, which we'll get to in just a little bit. Next, we have a piece that is pure Edwardian glamour, Queen Mary's 11-row pearl choker. It's a true waterfall of pearls, held together by 2 large ornate diamond clasps. This was a favorite of the young Queen Mary when she was Princess of Wales, though she wore it less in her later years. After her death, it passed to Princess Alice, who wore it for some of her own grand occasions in the 1950s and 60s. When the choker came to our Duchess, Birgitte, it became a significant part of her gala wardrobe, particularly in the 1980s, and for a number of major state banquets in more recent years. While it hasn't been seen in public for some time, its appearances were always memorable, showcasing the sheer scale and opulence of the Edwardian era. It remains a magnificent example of the depth of the Gloucester collection, a piece so grand that it can be held in reserve, waiting for just the right moment to shine again. From a piece defined by its sheer scale, we move to one defined by its cleverness. This is the Gloucester Diamond Necklace Tiara, and it's a masterclass in transformation. Its exact origins are a little hazy. It's thought that it may have been created from another earlier diamond tiara that was also a wedding gift to Princess Alice. But what makes it so special is its dual nature. It is a stunning necklace of large, collet-set diamonds, perfect for a formal dinner. But the entire piece can also be mounted onto a discreet frame and worn as a graceful, sparkling tiara. It's a wonderful example of jewelry design that is both beautiful and highly practical. Princess Alice was often photographed wearing it as a tiara, especially in her earlier years. Birgitte, however, seems to prefer it in its necklace form. You'll often see her pairing it with one of the grander tiaras, allowing it to provide a perfect circle of brilliance at her throat. The next piece also has a story of transformation, and it brings us back to one of the Honeysuckle Tiara's most beautiful features. This is the Duchess's stunning pink topaz necklace. It didn't start its life as a necklace at all. This striking pink stone, and whether it's a topaz or a kunzite, is a fun debate among jewel lovers, was originally a brooch belonging to Queen Mary. She wore it as a pin on her hats and gowns. But after it passed to Princess Alice, she had the brilliant idea to give it a new purpose. She had it set within these beautiful strings of collet diamonds, creating a necklace designed for one specific, perfect reason: to be the ideal companion for the honeysuckle tiara when it's set with its matching pink stone. The current Duchess, Birgitte, has continued this tradition, often wearing the 2 pieces together for a truly stunning effect. And just recently, she added another layer of history to it, attaching a briolette topaz pendant, also from Queen Mary's collection, to the bottom of the necklace. It's a masterful touch, reuniting 2 pieces that belong to the same great queen. If the tiaras are the headlines and the necklaces are the main chapters of the Gloucester story, then the brooches are where you find the most personal notes and intriguing footnotes. These smaller pieces often carry the most intimate histories. Let's begin with a jewel that takes us right back to the Victorian court. This magnificent diamond corsage brooch, with its beautiful scrollwork and 3 glittering pendants, has an impeccable provenance. It originally belonged to Princess Helena, one of Queen Victoria's own daughters. After Helena's death, it seems to have entered the main royal collection before being chosen by Queen Mary as a perfect wedding gift for Princess Alice in 1935. It's a piece with real history, a direct link to Victoria's family. Birgitte, with her usual flair, has shown how versatile it is. We see her wear it as a grand corsage brooch, just as it was intended, but she also wears it as a stunning pendant, suspended from a simple diamond necklace, giving a classic Victorian piece a modern, elegant twist. Next are a pair of Art Deco clip brooches, set with vibrant rubies and diamonds. They belong to Princess Alice, who was photographed wearing them as far back as the 1930s. As was the fashion for clip brooches, she wore them in a classic, symmetrical style. Like many pieces in the collection, their exact origin before Princess Alice is unknown. Today, the current Duchess wears them for significant daytime events, such as the Commonwealth Day service. They are a wonderful example of the timeless appeal of Art Deco design, looking just as stylish today as they did nearly a century ago. But not every jewel in a royal collection comes with a detailed history. Sometimes, the mystery is part of the charm. The Duchess has a favorite pair of circular brooches made from rock crystal and diamonds that are quintessentially Art Deco. They are chic, geometric, and effortlessly stylish. The clear, translucent rock crystal beautifully catches the light and reflects the color of whatever fabric she wears them on. But their history? It's a complete blank slate. We have no idea where they came from, who made them, or when they entered the family's collection. They simply appear, a perfect embodiment of 1920s glamour, their unknown past only adding to their allure. And that brings us to what is perhaps the most tantalizing mystery in the entire Gloucester collection. To understand it, we must go back to Queen Alexandra's wedding in 1863. As a gift, the city of Liverpool presented her with a breathtaking diamond cross set with 11 large, perfectly matched Golconda diamonds of exceptional purity. It was a masterpiece. After Alexandra's death, the cross vanished from the public record. Its whereabouts became a puzzle for jewelry historians. Now, fast forward to today. The Duchess of Gloucester is occasionally seen wearing a diamond cross of a strikingly similar design and scale. The resemblance is so remarkable that it has led many to wonder, could this be it? Could Queen Alexandra's lost Liverpool cross have quietly made its way into the Gloucester vault, hiding in plain sight all these years? There is no official confirmation, of course, and it remains pure speculation, but it's a fascinating possibility. Finally, no grand jewelry ensemble is complete without the perfect pair of earrings, and the Gloucester collection has some truly remarkable ones that add the finishing touch of sparkle and history. Among the Duchess's most worn and most loved pairs are these spectacular antique diamond cluster earrings. While many of the Gloucester jewels came from Queen Mary, these are thought to have a different, much more personal origin. It's believed they were a wedding gift to Princess Alice in 1935 from her own mother, the Duchess of Buccleuch. If so, they represent a link not just to the royal family, but to Alice's own aristocratic heritage. They are a classic, timeless design that works with almost any grand occasion. These earrings have truly seen it all. They were worn by Princess Alice at the coronation of King George VI, and then again at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. And in a wonderful, poignant continuation of that tradition, Birgitte chose to wear this same pair for the coronation of King Charles III, cementing their place as a witness to the history of 3 separate reigns. But where some earrings tell a story of tradition, others tell a story of clever transformation. Let's return for a moment to that magnificent emerald suite that Queen Mary gave to Princess Alice. If you recall from the photograph of the original wedding gift, the suite came with 5 spectacular, pear-shaped emerald drops in total. 2 served as pendants on the necklaces, and 3 were suspended from that large corsage brooch. Well, Princess Alice, with her characteristic practical eye, looked at that brooch and saw an opportunity. She had the 2 pendants from either side of the central drop detached and had them made into this stunning pair of earrings. It was a brilliant move, turning part of a very formal corsage ornament into a more versatile and frequently worn piece. The central emerald drop was eventually detached as well, and today, it lives a new life as a wonderfully versatile pendant. You'll often see the Duchess wearing it, sometimes suspended from one of the pearl and emerald necklaces to create a perfectly matched set, and at other times, she'll attach it to a pearl necklace. We have journeyed through an extraordinary collection today, from the great historic tiaras to the most personal and mysterious brooches. And yet, for a collection as deep and rich as the Duchess of Gloucester's, there are still so many other beautiful pieces we could have explored. What is so remarkable is how the Duchess carries the weight of all this history with such an easy personal elegance. She seamlessly blends priceless heirlooms into a modern royal wardrobe, always with a thoughtful touch that honors their legacy. She is the perfect custodian for this incredible treasure trove, a true unsung style hero of the royal family. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the heart of this spectacular collection. I would love to know what you think. Do you have a favorite piece from the Gloucester Vault? What are your thoughts on the Duchess's elegant style? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into royal history and jewelry, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. It truly helps, and it means you won't miss our next deep dive into another fascinating royal collection.